My name is Valerie Dantoin, and I am a farmer at Full Circle Community Farm, which is our farm about 20 miles west of Green Bay. And I'm also an educator. I teach at Northeast Wisconsin Technical College in the Sustainable Food and Ag Systems program. I didn't grow up on a farm. I did grow up on the west side of Green Bay, but I was always somehow drawn to plants, or they called me in. And I did have an aunt and an uncle on a farm. And I went to college at Madison, was getting my master's degree in agronomy, and always had been farming and interested in agriculture. And then I met a farmer with his own farm and married him, and had always been in education and natural resource areas as well as farming, and I really wanted to blend the two. So Rick and I got married 30 some years ago, and the premise of our whole farm, it's called Full Circle Farm. We wanted to merge environmental ways of farming along with healthy ways for people to be part of the landscape, and also, you need to make a profit to be sustainable. So on our farm, the main key practice is managed grazing. We have 240 acres. What we do is cover the whole landscape with grasses and clovers and alfalfa, and the cows get a small piece of that every day. They get moved to a new piece, and they don't wreck the piece that they're on. They're eating it, there's some poop on there, but it's all good stuff, and the land stays blanketed by this green cover, and there's living roots in the ground all year round. So that's our main practice. But our son has come back to the farm with his partner, and they're doing organic vegetables. We do organic beef on that grazing farm, 100% grass-fed, and we also have about 60 head of hogs that are out grazing. They get a little bit of brassicas, which is the mustard family, and turnips and that sort of thing out in their pasture, but it's all part of different enterprises working together in one ecosystem as a farm on Full Circle Farm. I think the other thing that we try and bring in is conservation practices in some of our little bit more marginal land, but also in our riparian areas, which are right along this stream, and we're planting trees and shrubs, elderberries, things like that, where we're trying to make corridors for wildlife, and we're trying to keep it more of an ecosystem instead of just a farm. Sure. Part of what I'm doing in education is I realized that there was a sort of a blank space in Green Bay, and actually NWTC got a grant about 12 years ago to develop a sustainable ag program at the technical college level, which is creating an associate degree. And they were looking for someone in that role, and I had been with University Extension, and I had worked for the United Tribe for many years part-time while I also farmed. And so I was able to shift into the role of educator and start developing coursework. So I've actually written about 25 different courses for the technical college, ranging from an entire course in managed grazing to beekeeping to cheese making. We do value-added products like canning. We do just a variety of things, just straight up livestock, organic gardening, some apprenticeship type programs, just anything you'd want to be able to run a farm successfully. We're trying to teach the basics to especially people who have lost that connection with land, or with parents or grandparents who have taught them how to farm. What other pathway is there to reconnect with the land if you don't come from a family farm? And so many people want to have that connection and start growing healthy food, not just for themselves, but for their communities. And so I feel super fortunate to have been in the right place at the right time, to be able to develop the curriculum, teach the classes, keep grounded on the farm here that I love, and I couldn't ask for a better situation. I think for students who are entering the Sustainable Food and Ag Systems program, they all feel some sort of calling to do better as far as growing food and producing food. And it's just their pathway is going to be unique because they're doing it through one of the very few programs in the country that lets you get your hands dirty and learn how to drive a tractor, learn how to make cheese, learn how to extract honey from a hive. So what I want to instill in those students is maybe a philosophy of caretaking and a philosophy that it's not just all about the humans, it's about soil health and the ecosystem health as well. Most of them really get it and are really on board with that already. So I don't have to do any instilling. It's already there. I just help it flourish. Our farm is involved in SLO Farmers Cooperative. SLO stands for Sustainable, Local, and Organic, and we were actually one of the founding farms in that group back in, I believe it was 2014. Cooperatives are where people work together and bring products to market, or consumer co-ops are where you buy product together. And so a group of us farmers got together, we formed the co-op, we actually, filed the paperwork, and we've grown slowly but steadily. We've had a few setbacks here and there, but it's the idea that as farmers, we don't want to compete with each other for prices, because as you may know, farmers have this thing called race to the bottom, where we always think we can get a market if we sell it for a little less expensive than somebody else. So what we're really trying to do in the co-op is say, we're going to have a fair price for the farmers, and here's what it is. Let's not compete against each other to sell our turnips for a nickel cheaper than somebody else's turnips, or our pound of beef for a little bit less so that we get the sale instead of someone else. So we want to stress cooperation and not competition. The consumers would be paying a fair price too, where they know it's going to local farmers, and could they get a better price by going to Walmart or some other big grocery store? Sure, but they know that they're supporting us and we're supporting them with fair prices too. We're not going to get the highest price we could get, but we're going to get a fair price, and that's all we're after. I think the other thing along that line was I felt a little funny about teaching people to start their own farm and then putting them out in the marketplace. It was like throwing them to the wolves. Like, here you go, now you know how to produce food, have fun with that, but now try and get that food sold at a price that will make you a sustainable farm. So we've been inviting new farmers all along the way to join our co-op so that they don't have to struggle with marketing and pricing, and they can be part of a group that's already got some established markets. And also, when we group our product together, we can sell into mid-sized institutions like the Green Bay Packers, or like the technical college. We're actually selling to the local cafeteria there, because a single farmer can't have enough product to supply those groups, but when we all work together as farmers, we can manage that volume of supply that our customers really want. There's a couple places you can plug in if you want to be involved locally. In Northeast Wisconsin, especially in the Green Bay area, one good place to start is New Leaf Foods, and something else called New Food Forum, which is a subgroup of New Leaf Food. And there we're actually trying to make some policy and help form, I don't know if I'd go as far as saying legislation, but just ideas where our local government could actually help support the local food movement. So that's a good place. Just look up New Leaf Foods and you'll find some information there. Otherwise, just check out your local farmers market. support farmers who go to those markets. Try not to go for always the lowest price produce that you can get. Form a relationship with your farmer and go out to farms, and if a farm won't let you visit, something's wrong with that farm. So you can get involved that way. Maybe ask at your place of work if your company would support some local health initiatives where maybe your healthcare program might start buying CSA shares. That would be another great way to get involved. And we can always use volunteers at SLO Farmers Co-op to help us move that co-op forward, because we're just a group of farmers trying to do the work, and we always welcome community members, as does New Leaf Foods, in trying to move the whole food system forward. Another way people can get involved is to eat locally. So again, look for labels that are local at the farmers market as well. And maybe don't be afraid when you read something in the paper, or if there's a local meeting about farming and water quality, get involved and help your voice be heard, saying that you want the soil and the water to be cared for responsibly, and farmers have a role in doing that, and you want to push farmers and our governments who support farmers to support programming that helps pay for local foods. I just feel so lucky to be part of this movement and part of this scene. And my husband and I have been working at it for 30 years. It's been something we feel like we've been pushing a boulder up a hill. And it's so wonderful to see this next generation coming along of people who really get it and want to help be the change in the world. And that's just so wonderful, and I'm really gratified to see that, and I'm so happy to be part of that change.